No, you like to talk shit just like us.
Where are you at? We have to talk.
Better come and subscribe.
And go over to YouTube at Shit Talker. So, because you're not going to want to miss our stuff. And I'm going to let you know, today is Shit Talker, baby.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shit Talker, where we let our wickedness come out here, for sure. And today, you have me, your host, Canary Mirror, as always here for you. But you can call me Elfie. And then we have my stunning counterpart and sister, Chanel Mirror Allure.
Hi, everybody. I'm feeling very popular.
Yes, God. And then we have my stunning sister, Ceviche. She's back.
Baby, the lioness. I'm not giving you cowardly lion today. I'm giving you cunty lion, okay?
Yes, God. And then my stunning sister, Flor.
And just like the Scarecrow, I do need a brain.
Let's just jump into the episode and talk about what we need to talk about, because it is a very interesting episode this week for sure. Last week, it was the Snatch Game, as you guys saw, because I'm sure you guys were here watching us talk about it. And the Snatch Game was interesting. Susie thought she was going to win. Anya got the win, though. And was that shocking to you guys, or were you watching and being like, Anya, yes, God, that's the diva?
I don't think anybody could watch that and think that Anya was not going to take that Snatch Game win, because it was, no shade, a little bit of a mess from them other girls.
Yes.
Right.
No, Susie took it.
Don't play.
Says no one ever.
I
No one
got
has
the rest. No, I don't agree. Or I do agree.
Ooh. Hot take.
She's a little dumb too. I think she might need a brain also. Moving on. Oh my God, I laughed.
The wicked laugh.
She's truly wicked.
And Crystal was sadly sent home, and honestly that saddened me because I thought Crystal was such a contender for a crown, and she was so close to getting a win a couple of times, and I really think she could have gotten it. Were you guys shocked to see Crystal go home so early?
For sure. As my Jersey girl, that was so heart-wrenching because she did so good the past few episodes, so it was very hard to see her go.
You'll probably also place 10th, so be ready because it runs in the state.
Oh,
Girl.
Just kidding.
Well,
Crystal, she was definitely eating up the season, and it sucks that she slipped one time and they got her on out the door. But I think it's worth noting that Lana, these other girls are really working up a sweat trying to fight against her in these lip syncs, and she's just clearing. She's just kind of doing her thing, not doing too much ever. And I think that she's just so effortlessly good at what she does when the music turns on. And I feel like if we saw her lip sync again, we might see her start getting her head, but up until this point, she has done so good.
Yeah, she's definitely a force to be reckoned with, for sure, when it comes to that.
and this comes to show that track record doesn't matter until the finale.
baby.
Not even then, because last year we saw Nymphia take it. That was shocking. Susie is low-key a little heated that she did not win the Snatch Game because she thought that she was going to, so she's kind of on edge about that. Ceviche, what are your thoughts? If you won something on T4 All-Stars, and then Salmon comes to you and is like, bitch, I should have won that, and you know I should have won that, how would you react to that?
Well, I got it anyways, so fuck you. She got the win, so you can't go against the judges. The vote.
Exactly. Please wake it up. And then we come back into the workroom the next day, and Lydia and Corey are freaky. They freaky, boots, all up on each other. The girls call Corey King a twink goblin. Would you guys classify yourself as a twink goblin? Do you guys like twinks or no?
I mean, I kind of like some twink on twink action, but you know.
We know Ceviche loves the twink.
Yeah.
Baby, my man, Twinkie. I turned him from a twink to a man.
God.
You're a mess. So, RuPaul comes in and lets the girls know that it is Rusical week, and Flora, you would excel heavily in this challenge. You'd be just like Ariete to me. And I think this challenge is probably one of the best challenges of Drag Race. It's a staple. You winning it means a lot. It holds a lot of weight, just like Chanel. So, Chanel, what are your thoughts on
Great segue. Well, I personally was very excited when they said it was the Rusical. I know if I was there, I would also be very excited because as a dancers, I just feel like doing choreography with music and recording a track that seems so fun. But I know that my voice is shot, so it would probably not sound too great, but the tune would save it for sure. But some of these girls look, some look more excited than others. Let's just say that.
Yeah, let's just say that. And the Rusical is the Wicked Wiz of Oz, which I think is such a good Rusical in theory. But as we later see, opinions might change. But I think interlocking all the Wizard of Oz's and having every single character from that is a really smart move. The girls go to pick their roles, and it is Acacia x Susie for the role of like regular Dorothy, Kansas Dorothy. Whew, it gets fierce. What are your thoughts on the girls picking Acacia over Susie, Floor? What were your thoughts on that?
Well, everyone was saying that Susie was like trying to strategize it because she knew that Corey might not do well. But I didn't think so. I think Susie was just trying to like stir the pot and just try to be a little shady because she knows that anything that she does will get the girls mad. But I do think that Susie got the role that she deserved and Acacia got the role that she deserved.
Not in her favor though, for sure, but we'll get there later.
You definitely deserve.
And then it is Corey x Jules. And Ceviche, what do you think they went with the right decision casting Jules over Corey for this role?
Oh, for sure. I think. I mean, we'll see it later, and we'll talk about it. But Jules is Glinda. Like, I feel like I get more Glinda from Jules than I do Corey, so it definitely fit her character more. But it would have been really funny to see Corey as like a girly pop, like, I thought that also would have been really funny. But I do think that Jules got the role she deserved.
Yeah, it's like we know Jules for being Ariana Grande, being Glinda Tease, and we know Corey for being Body Down. So it's like they both have a reason as to why they could be that role. But no shade, you're not gonna tell Jules she's not gonna be the Ariana Grande Glinda inspired role. Like you're just
Exactly,
not gonna
yes.
get that. So, and the fact that when everybody was like, "Okay, raise your hand if you think it should be Corey," and didn't nobody but Susie. Girl, it was so funny.
Yeah, I think they went with the right choice, probably altogether. But I think I would have liked to see Corey in that role just to see if she would have ended up in the bottom again, or if she would have been like high or safe. If you guys were in this musical, which role would you want? And we can start with Chanel.
So after watching the Rusical, I feel like I would either like Glinda's part because of the comedy and choreography, like moments that were happening, and like the song just seems really fun. Or honestly, I would like one of the monkeys because I think that the choreography and the timing of like that song was so cute, and working with a partner, like it could either go really well or really bad, which we saw. But
Right.
I think that either one of those two sections were probably the most intriguing and probably the most memorable in my mind. So yeah.
Yeah. I think I would have wanted Galinda's role too, so we would have fought a little bit, but that's bound to happen, and I would have not gotten it. For obvious reasons. Flora, what role would you want?
In my heart, I would really want Galinda, but I just know that's not in the cards for me. No, but honestly, I would either want one of the monkeys or maybe the Dorothy, because I like the lead role, and I feel like I would give like heart and soul, and I can cry on demand. So
Yeah, you would have been Acacia down. What are your thoughts, Ceviche? Who would you have wanted?
I think I low-key would have taken Cher, just because I feel like that's like a standout role, and I could do a pretty good fucking Cher.
Yes, God.
So yeah, I definitely would have
baby,
chosen Cher.
this pit crew would have an easy time lifting your skinny ass nigga.
Yeah.
Twist. Girl, they lift her up and she actually would turn into a
Light as
twister.
a
Like she was
fucking
fly.
feather. Yes.
Yes, God.
yeah.
So the girls go to record their verses with Michelle. And honestly, imagining myself being there, like just looking at Michelle, like I would be so gagged. Like I'd be like, that's a goddess. So that's fierce to me on its own. And she really praises Sam and Anya for their singing and is really blown away by their singing. I was blown away for sure. But Chanel, what were your thoughts on Acacia's singing?
She must have forgot the pipe somewhere along the way in the packing process for the season. Because, Mama, you gonna have to stop throwing the singer card out. Like, I'm a singer, I'm a singer, I'm a singer. No, just maybe if she would have sang and never told us that that was what she did, we probably like, oh, okay. But Mama, it was not giving. It was like so monotone. I was like, okay, the tune is gonna have to save it. Do y'all think the tune saved it?
Mm-mm. It was not
Yeah.
even.
So I don't know.
I mean, we can tell by her placement if the tune saved it. I'll clock that too. And it did
Girl,
not.
so yeah, I was not impressed with Miss Acacia, and even more so because she tells us how good she is supposed to be at this. So just a little,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a little one note. Hey, because she's singing.
Girl, save.
Uh, so let's move on to It Is Elimination Day. Maybe it is the Rusical. And this Rusical is something fierce. Let's get into it. Who really stood out to you? What were your overall thoughts on the Rusical? We can start with Ceviche.
That bitch Jules. Like, I think Jules stood out to me the most. She really ate that whole thing. Even with like the nipple like popping out and like her like playing along with it, that's what really sold it. Like she stayed in character the whole time, which I really like appreciated.
No, I will say I definitely expected more from this musical because there are some parts like why is Sherry here and like there's so many Dorothys and like
You're a theater ass bitch for sure.
no yeah I love theater. I've been in theater for like all my life and like they just didn't. If I was there, I'd be like a little
Who would have
disappointed,
thought?
just a tiny
Don't say.
Right. You don't say.
bit. Girl,
Oh my god, Glinda, you're a bitch. Glinda, what are your thoughts on Chanel, what are your thoughts on the overall musical of it all?
So at first, I was excited about it being Wizard of Oz themed, but I don't know if y'all remember on UK versus the World, it was basically the same format of musical. Like when they did the West End, whatever, they just brought a bunch of
nah.
characters together and had little solo numbers as an audition for something. And I'm like, okay, so we just reused the entire idea, but with Wizard of Oz. Alfie, what are you doing?
Bitch, I'm pissed. Nobody fucking likes me. Thank
Um,
you.
but
Exactly.
after watching it, I enjoyed it. I thought Susie, she was so natural in the beginning. What I thought she did a great job at opening the show. I thought Lydia and Corey's chemistry was great. I thought Jules's comedic timing was perfect and always like hit at the right moment of the song. And I honestly was obsessed with the whole trio moment with the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lana's voice on that track was so pretty. Every one of them was eating the choreography up. I don't think any of them missed. They could have been the top three with themselves. But I think that overall it was a great showing for everybody except for Acacia.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
for sure. I think watching the Rusical, I was expecting a good Rusical because, as we know, the past consecutive few Rusicals have been so good. So I was like, this one is probably gonna be good too. Someone lied to her several times because it was not that good, and
Girl.
I hate the idea of them like. I don't hate the idea. It's just auditioning for roles. It actually is a good idea, but I just didn't like how it started. I think it could have flowed better. I don't know. It kind of went nowhere. It's like they all audition. That's the end. Like there's no winner. There's no nothing. Like I need some more dynamic to the story myself. And then who really stood out to me was Anya Nerve. She ate down. The vocals were great. She had the hardest choreography by far. It was so good. Jules was so funny as well. But I just think Anya edged her out at the end, and Anya edged everybody out for me for sure. So yeah, I guess that's the Rusical. I would rate this Rusical. Would I tell anybody to go see it? No, because don't waste your goddamn time. But I think it was something interesting for sure. And honestly, I'd rewatch it just for Anya because that's the goddess. Oh my god, I just had a seizure. So, RuPaul announces that the runway category is Parasol Shady Lady. Yes, God, hide yourself from the water, maybe don't shower. And Susie 2 is starting us off on this runway. And I've heard a lot of mixed things about this runway, but I think I thoroughly enjoy it. For me, this is a pretty. I think she looks great. Her body looks right. She looks pretty. She just went from that hideous green makeup, it was so ugly, to this stunning beige, gorgeous makeup. Flora, what were your thoughts?
No, Susie too gets a pretty this week because I actually like the whole leotard. I like the gloves. I like the shoes. If I was gonna be a bitch, I just wish like the parasol on top was also stoned, like it's the same as the bottom of the parasol. But
Can you pull out all your stoned items for me?
girl, she got money. I don't.
Just say real quick, since I haven't been here the last couple of episodes, I want to say that I am a Susie to like stan. I have been obsessed low
You're a
key.
cheater.
I love all her looks so far. I don't give a fuck what they say. Oh wait, I shouldn't curse, right?
No, you can curse.
Oh, perfect.
No, fuck that
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Fuck. Um.
This look is cursed.
No,
Oh,
but
bleep that. Bleep that.
Bleep that, honey.
Bleep the fuck out of that.
no, but yeah, I think Susie too did so good this episode, this runway. I loved it. The blonde is so good. Her parasol matching everything, so good. I loved. Pretty.
So I love Susie Toots' look. I think this color palette works super good for her. I think that the stoning on all of the elements is so gorgeous. I love the textural bits of it. I think that she thought about all of the right details. Overall, this is going to have to be a pretty.
Moving on to Jules Sparkles. Flora, what were your thoughts?
Jewel Sparkles did so great. I love the hair. I do wish the umbrella was a little bit bigger. It's just that black on the runway is just so hard to
Wait,
read.
but I looked up the definition of a parasol, and apparently it's a tinier umbrella. That's what makes it different. It has to be tinier than an
I know,
umbrella.
but it's drag though. I want it to be bigger. Like it needs to be bigger.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad.
No, you're good. But
I know I'm good. Thank you for coming on my show.
they
On
are
my
so.
show. No. Continue.
Girl, thank you. Next, it's a pretty.
I love this Jewel Sparkles look, and of course, we know it and love it from before the show. And I think that if you're gonna rewear something from before the show, it better be over like this. And this gown is sickening. This parasol works perfectly with it. I think everything matches so well. I love the hair, like it's so elegant on her. And overall, I don't think you could give this anything but a pretty.
Well, you're going to be interested to hear what I have to say. So, Jewel Sparkles, I think this looks really good. I do like the look. I think it's a lot of black going on, so I wish it was broken up a little bit. And you look pretty. I just think your makeup, something has been looking off a little bit to me personally, but I think it looks good for the most part.
It's
And
the
I'm joking.
concept.
I think this look is pretty. You did a good job for sure. Ceviche?
Yeah, I thought it was gorgeous. She looked really pretty. And oh yeah, I do think
You're a coward. Say what you have to really say.
there was a lot of black going on, so yeah, it could have been broken up a little bit, maybe showing a little bit of skin because she looked a little bulky around the stomach area, I would say, like just because also the gloves like going in, like it just all like was just black. I wish there was something else.
Let's move on to Arietti. And Arietti, you gotta look for my designer, boo. Just kidding. This look is from JPEG, and JPEG made my disco shoe outfit, hashtag 10K. So make sure you guys go like that if you haven't. But Arietti looks really good. She looks good. I feel like Arietti always looks good. But no shade. It's good, but I'm a little bit bored. And it might be because the bitch before you had black on, and I've seen you in such extravagant stuff. I'm kind of like, okay, I get it. You're extravagant. But on that note, it is still a pretty. If it's pretty, it's pretty. Ceviche?
Yeah, it is. I don't know. There's something about this runway. Yeah, maybe it was because she went after Jules and it was the black, but it was good. Like overall, perfection. Like it is structured beautifully. The red with the black is beautiful, but I don't know. I'm missing a little something. Like something. I don't know. But yeah, overall pretty. Sorry.
Chanel.
I like this look on Arietti. I think it lacks a little bit of that creative nature that we're used to from her, so it's a little bit more subtle on that aspect of it. But overall, as far as like versatility wise, I think that I like seeing this glamorous side of her. and the jewelry and everything that she did to embellish it is so cute. The parasol seems a little bit like, okay, yeah, just do a little bit of black and a little bit of that fabric on there and just kind of make it
Yeah.
match. Doesn't, I don't know, I'm missing a little bit of a concept, which I feel like we're just used to her having.
Yeah,
So,
that's how I feel exactly.
but I overall would still give this a pretty, because this is no doubt a gorgeous look.
I really like how Latina it is. I really like the umbrella too, how tiny it was compared to the big voluptuous dress. But I like how it broke up the colors as well. I feel like that's what Jewel should have done because it was like just all black. If this was all black, it would have been lost. So I like there was another color of
Someone
color
watched the
there.
pit stop because that's what they basically said.
No, but I also think that the train of like the mermaid gown should have been like raised a little bit so it had that more of that oomph on the tail.
And that is when the lights went out in Georgia. All right, moving on to Lexi Motherfucking Love. This is fierce. This looks so good. She looks stunning. The gag with the little cane. My only critique is I wish she just kept the cane. I don't think she needed to throw it. And every time that girl throws something on stage, they keep that sound in for some reason. I'm like, please take it out because I don't want to hear that. But she like threw the cane and I hear the thud. But I think she could have just kept the cane in her hand. It looked extravagant just like that, and it looked high class. I love seeing her in white hair, especially with all this black, the white hair to break it up. It looked chef's kiss. This is probably one of my favorite looks on the runway. So, Lexi Love, this is a pretty for me. But shall.
This is stunning within itself. The dress I'm obsessed with that it's like nude and you can like see her skin through it with the gold chest plates. That's so cute. The ruffle on the glove is the perfect little accent to kind of help that simple silhouette be something bigger with the bangles. Overall, I'm obsessed, so I'm gonna give it a pretty.
I definitely think this black dress is my favorite out of all the black dresses on the runway so far. I love the gag of it. I just do agree with you, Canary, that she shouldn't have thrown the cane. She could have just presented it with the cane because it was that little element that just made it so fierce. But overall, like everything about the dress is pretty. I love the parasol and the hat with the gold leaf on it. Like it was everything. It's pretty.
Got it immediately when she had the cane as for the parasol. Like it was overall so creative, especially for a kind of blandish like runway.
Dress.
Like like
Yeah.
theme. It, I thought she did so great. The boobs were amazing. Like they were sitting pretty. So
Yes, we are. Let's move on to lovely Samsar, rewearing Trinity the Tuck's stunning look. Once
Hold on,
again
let
on
me
this.
act shocked.
You're green. So it is pretty, and she does look good. I wish again there was more of a concept. It's just like a print and a umbrella and a dress, and I think there should be a little bit more to it than that. Or at least something a little bit more gaggy, especially because spoiler alert, she wins the challenge and she wins looking like this. But I do think it's pretty at the end of the day. It's just, I'm a little bit bored. So I wish it was a little bit more.
Trinity the Tuck. I mean, Sam Star. No, I actually quite love this look though because like I love the whole floral print. I love the
I'm
umbrellas
sure.
and fabric. You know, like floral print, anything. I'm like dying for. So, everything about this was just 2T pretty.
I don't care if she's re-wearing an outfit. This is gorgeous. Like it's a beautiful gown. She definitely stands out. Like it's the most detailed and intricate. So I definitely love it. Pretty, pretty, pretty.
I just feel like if you're gonna be competing for America's Next Drag Superstar, it shouldn't be you're wearing everybody else's drag but yours. Like at some point you got to bring your own stuff out, which I mean, we're not done with the season and not every last thing that she has worn has been borrowed, but it's getting to be a little bit tired. And
Yeah.
even with the same hair that she wore at the entrance, like, okay, a dress we saw on somebody else and the hair we already saw on you. Like, it's not really the breath of fresh air that we're looking for on the runway, but it's still a gorgeous look, so I'm going to give it a pretty.
Let's move on to Lydia Butthole Collins, and we can start with Floor.
Lydia, I thought everyone living for this. I guess I'm the odd one out because I just don't understand it. Like it's just very minimalistic. Like it's not what we like expect from Lydia, and it's just like I want to see.
This is what I expect.
I want to see the weird shit again. This is like
Oh,
glamorous.
hell no. Keep that off the TV.
No, it's like it's cute and it's eccentric. I liked it. but
Yeah.
it's a midi.
I'm gonna rebuttal that. I think this is probably one of the better Lydia looks for me because I can kind of place my finger on what's happening here a little bit, and I can't do that with other looks. And I just wish the headpiece was a different shape because I feel like that's such a weird thing, and I want to see her face as well. Um, take that thing off your face. So I just want to see that. But other than that, I think this is a pretty look, and I think this is one of the better looks from her this season.
I actually really love this look. I always have like a love-hate relationship when it comes to Lydia's runway.
Is hate.
It's no, it's either like it's really gorgeous or it's like what am I looking at right now? And usually it leans towards the latter, but this week I am obsessed with this fabric. Like it's just a good fabric, so she probably could have made anything out of it and it'd been
Yeah.
cute. But I love what she did with the dress. It's easy to read. She always has a sickening leg and a pump, which is really gorgeous. I love the way that the headpiece kind of looks like a parasol almost, like the piece
Ooh,
of
yeah.
a parasol. Overall, this is really gorgeous to me, so I'm gonna give it a pretty.
I like the fabric choice. That's about it. It's the hat. Why are you wearing a hat if you have a parasol? And the reason of a parasol is to like block the sun. So and also like I even in this picture that I'm looking at, you can't see her face, like her eye, like right.
Us
It's
I mean,
pasty
why are you
girls
a
need
dude in a
extra
big
help.
ass wig?
what?
Ha!
I said, why are you a dude in a big wig?
Oh,
Oh,
But that being said, not everything people do with drag doesn't have to be technical. Like, yes, she can go outside and have a hat on and an
but
umbrella on, yes,
to me
but
it doesn't
it
make
doesn't need to be.
sense. Like the runway is supposed to be a parasol, not a hat, and the hat is kind of sticking out more than the parasol. So I think it's gonna be a midi.
Let's move on to Corey Kia. Corey Kia.
she's been
Corey
sentenced. Get
Kia.
your socks now.
Yes, get your socks. Get your Kia Asylum. Your robe will be there for you. So I think this look is honestly one of her better looks. I don't think it's great, but I think it is better. And the coincidence of her bringing a Dorothy look for this challenge is so like crazy to
Too
me,
good.
and it's too good. And I like this hair color on her a lot more than that blonde. I'm kind of sick of seeing her in blonde, but I don't like her in black hair either. So I don't know what's happening. The world be going up for her in black hair. I'm like, I'm good. Um, but I actually like this look, so it is a pretty for me as well.
The only thing that I hate about this outfit, well, I have two things I don't like about this outfit. I want the hair to be bigger because we saw the
Agreed.
leotards and untucked, and I also don't want the feathers on the parasol. It could have been the same fabric as like the gegum, like the blue gegum. Like it could have been that. I didn't want the feather. The feathers just seemed like just there for me. Like I didn't understand that. But overall, Corey King honestly ate this runway. Whenever she came out, I was like, ah, I'm a Dorothy. It was honestly cunt. So like she gets her tens, and I do agree with RuPaul. Ginger looks good on her. So like it's a pretty.
I'm gonna have to disagree with everything y'all said because I do not like this at all. I literally right before when Lydia was leaving, I was like, oh my god, like everybody's doing so good this runway, and then Corey King came out, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't like it. The gown didn't match. Didn't touch the floor. There was like an inch or two like just hovering, which I mean she had a skirt on, she could have tugged that a little bit down. The umbrella, because it wasn't a parasol, the umbrella that she had
Damn.
was just
Damn.
black. Like the rod was just black. It didn't match anything else to the.
Okay, well, if you learned anything from Shit Talker, you learned Ceviche hates black. So don't be black, don't wear black, and she hates black.
Well,
Confirmed.
it doesn't go with the outfit, so no, I know what in this instance. So, overall, I'm a like.
She hates black Corey King.
In February? Ugh.
I'm gonna have to give it a midi.
Do y'all remember when she did the Barbie look for the pink runway?
Yes.
And now she's doing this like Dorothy look. It's something about seeing a big man do childlike references that
Yeah.
I don't think is exactly sitting too well or reading
Yeah,
too
not
well.
very tasteful.
And the
Correct.
costume, even though I'm sure it is custom, reads costume store just because it isn't embellished, like Adam Lambert said on the show. Like there's some stones right here, but like
My black king.
it just it just needed more, like overall. It just was a little bit too subtle, but I like that she thought to do this for the category, I guess. It was pretty interesting. It was a gag that it happened on the same episode. But I'm going to give it a midi.
Moving on to Anya, last motherfucking herb. I love this Anya look, and maybe I'm biased because I like yellow, but I love this look. I think it looks so good. I like how it's tucked into the boot. I like all that stuff, and I think the hair choice was pretty. I think her makeup looks pretty. And the parasol is so stunning, and I love it. I love it. Even though it might not make sense, like parasol is supposed to cover sun, and she's in a raincoat fabric, basically. I don't care because it looks good. And she still got the parasol. So, in my mind, I love this look. This is a pretty for me, for sure.
I also really love this look. Like, and I like that she didn't necessarily do something too conceptual or too, like, on the nose. Like, she had her own, like,
Anya knows.
it, the outfit had its own interesting elements to it that like I had never seen before. I love all the pieces, like the boot and the corset, and everything just worked so well together. And she just looked so good on the runway. So I'm gonna give this a pretty.
She is on your ass, baby. She is looking too good, and I love the yellow. I also really like this look a lot. The only thing I would say if I was like a bitch about it, I don't like the shoes with a little stripe on it. I just think it wasn't needed. I think it just should have been pure yellow, and like I just wanted pure monochromatic. So it's honestly such a good look from her. She stood out of all of them whenever they were standing on the runway. I was like, ooh, Anya is looking too fierce right now. Like this is a pretty
Yeah, because everybody did so much dark stuff, and she came out with this bright sun yellow.
right.
Absolutely.
Overall, I mean, I think it's really pretty. I think there could have been like an extra fabric around her thigh so that it wasn't so tight and it kind of like flowed over and gave her more of a shape. But overall, I think it. Okay, actually, no, I lied. It's gonna be It's pretty mid. That's my.
It's a pretty
Pretty
midi.
mid.
Pretty mid. Yeah.
Pretty mid.
She's high safe.
Let's move on to Miss Acacia Forgot. And I love this look. I think this look is very different and interesting, and it doesn't look store-bought, and it's not reused from somebody's drag mother. So I think this looks very different, and my only thing is I don't really like the hair, like, curl, but at the end of the day, that's your thing, and if that's your thing, so be it, and it looks cute, so yeah. Maybe I would, I don't really have any problems with that. I was gonna say maybe a different color, but I like it in black, so I think it looks good. I really like this look.
I don't know. I don't like the cut of it. It cuts right at her ankle, and it just looks really awkward. Also, the fabric of the skirt is just, like it's not a fabric that's really too stiff, so it's not gonna hold its shape. That you kind of that I can kind of see that it's forming. Um, and yeah, the hair parasol thing, I thought it was cute. So it's midi.
I think it's just too sheer. Like it was gray, not black. It just really cut the outfit in between. I didn't like it like that. But it's honestly a pretty though because like with like the looks that she's shown us, this is definitely up there. One of my favorites from Acacia. Like I love the hair. I love the umbrellas with the hair.
Favorite and last.
Like yeah, save good for the last. So like it was honestly quite nice. Like kind of lived. So it's a pretty.
This curl pattern is like a little bit too poodle-esque, like which maybe that's what she was going for, but I think that maybe a looser curl or something would have looked better. But I maybe for the structural purpose of all these hairs staying on top of each other, she did what she needed to do. I'm not mad at anything I'm looking at, and I think this was definitely a good way to go out. We didn't see any other looks that were done this way. Very creative of her. Love the reference. Love the overall aesthetic I'm getting. So I'm gonna give it a pretty.
Chanel.
Yeah.
Oh, world star. Hold on, world star.
Oh, her pussy is
Madam
green.
Horrible.
Oh.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on to Lana Geray's parasol look. Fleur, what were your thoughts?
I really like Lux's hair. Honestly, thought it was really cute. I thought it was cute that she wore Lux's hair because it was like symbolizing like she loves her mom a lot. I love the fangs. I love how she went with like vampire aesthetic. I love the stones on the dress. The only thing is, like, out of the black dresses on the runway, this was my least favorite. So like everyone else just overshined her, just like on the runway, just a tad bit. So like I do give this look a shitty.
I'm a girl who uses my natural body too. And I feel like when you do like to use your natural bodies, at least a corset every once in a while, especially with a gown, could really do something extra. Like it could really just give you that body, the with the gown, especially because it looks like the gown has a corset kind of thing to it. It could have used a, you know, and your waist is tiny. You can get small, so get small. Um, but yeah, overall, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna say it's like it's between midi and shitty, tbh. But low key,
You're always a between us, bitch.
yeah.
Oh, she loves being in the middle.
It's shitty.
I can't like go in on Sam Star for re-wearing Trinity stuff all the time without touching on the fact that this is Lux's wig, and it's a little bit different with Sam wearing stuff that maybe we haven't seen on the show from Trinity, but wearing a wig that we saw 2 seasons ago already on the runway, and the look, no shade, is not eating as much as the last look that wig was used for. It's not the biggest serve to me, but you know, for sentimental purposes, I'm sure it felt great to wear your mother's wig. Um, my issue with this look is that I don't think that she thought everybody else was gonna go so vampy with their parasol looks. So in the grand scheme of things, it's lacking a lot of details that the other girls had. Like if she
Yeah.
was gonna go for a vampire concept, she needed more than just a black puff sleeve gown. She needed like that collar. She needed a little pop of red, maybe in here a little white trim. There's just more things that needed to be on the look to sell the vibe that she's going for. Because if not, I'm just looking at a black puff sleeve dress with the corset, like a decorative corset, that is not exactly doing what it needs to be doing. So it's not the best in regards to everybody else, but it's not the worst look I've ever seen. So I'm gonna give it a midi.
All right. I agree with Ceviche and Floor. I think the look itself is pretty. It just was lacking because we saw so many. I agree with Chanel with this. We saw so many vampy looks already. And just because we saw Jules' really embellished look, I don't think this look is necessarily hideous. I think it is actually, it's a pretty look. I just think with everybody else prior, it could have been amped up a little bit. But that's not, it doesn't really discredit her in the challenge, because in the challenge she was really phenomenal. She sounded really great and she did really great. So that being said, her challenge was really good, but this look for me was a shitty. But now the girls get announced the winner of this week's challenge, and it is Sam Star, and I couldn't disagree anymore. Oh my god, ew. What were your guys' thoughts on Sam Star winning this week's challenge? We could start with Floor.
No, I definitely agree. Like, props to Sam Star. Like, Sam Star, we're happy that you got your second win. But I do think Jules should have won.
Yeah, I don't fully agree, but I kinda can understand why the judges chose Sam. Because she did jump out and really let herself go this episode. So good job to her, but
God!
yeah, that's it.
Sam served us probably not even in the top 10 shares we've seen on the show. We've seen so many shares at this point, and that version of share. I was just not that impressed. She did a great job, but I don't think that it was worth winning over everybody else.
I think it should have been Anya's win, hands down. I think Anya did such an amazing job with this challenge, and I think she really stood out. Especially, she had the hardest choreo, and she nailed it. Her voice sounded the best. She looked great in the challenge and looked great on the runway. That's a winner right there to me. I think Jules did good, but I think her runway, there was a lot of black runways on this runway this week. But also, very, an honorable mention is Crystal's runway. It was posted, and she looked bomb. That was a goddess right there.
Another girl who did a vampy look, which probably ate
and
all
her
these
was
other
the
girls.
best.
The
Yeah,
best.
like
Yeah,
ate all
all
those
the
other
other girls
vampy
up.
girls.
The best.
Ooh, baby. That's a goddess. And she probably would have either won or been in the top again for this challenge
Yeah.
because she's really good at this type
Just
of
for the
stuff.
diamond experience.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to our bottom two, which are Acacia Forgot and Corey King. I'm so glad I don't have to say that name anymore. Whew, be stressing me out. So they lip sync to "Wet Dreams" by Adam Lambert, and this lip sync, I'm gagged.
Too
Honestly,
good.
It's
too
too
good.
good.
It is
Mhm.
so good. I agree with this bottom two. That goes without saying. I think we all agree on this bottom two. And the lip sync, Acacia did good with her little like from the neck up and like the hand thing. It was cute, but baby, Drop Dead Gorgeous devours cute. So and Corey cleared for me. What were your thoughts, Chanel?
So I definitely agree with the bottom two. I think that Corey did a good job, so it hurts to say that she was in the bottom, but
Yeah,
they're just people didn't mess up this week like that except for Acacia. And Acacia's bit was probably the most boring 2 minutes of my life in a Rusical. Like I'm gonna hate to have to skip that every time I watch now. So I'm definitely agreeing with that.
but it's at
Um,
the end, baby, so you can just turn it off.
but Corey devoured this. I ain't never listened to Adam Lambert music, but she just put me on with this
It
performance.
is so
She
Right?
good.
and it's just the way you can see her turn on when that music starts playing and when that beat drops, you just see her go ham. And occasionally, like she keeps pulling the like looking to see what she's doing and kind of like just stumbling around. You can't worry about that. Corey was in the zone. She was killing that number, even though she lost her wig. Which, girl, you know better. At your grown age, you don't
I'm
know how
so
to glue
sick of the wigs,
you
baby.
don't know how to glue your ear tabs down, mama. But other than that, she tore this runway, and them dance boots came in clutch today.
Yeah.
Yes,
My only
God.
like qualm was her facial expressions. She be getting a little to it. She'd be like, I'm like, whoa, girl, you gotta look a little bit pretty. You gotta be like, yes, like Daisy, like Susie Toot. I'm Susie
Oh, she was fighting.
Sissy Toot.
Susie Toot. Ceviche, what were your thoughts on this lip sync, honey?
Yeah, Corey ate that down. When she went to yes, I was
Yes.
living. It was so good. I definitely enjoyed watching her lip sync. So, yes, I agree with everything too.
Floor?
No, whenever Corey was hitting that duck one with a little, I was like, oh, we
Yeah,
see
I
the
like
back.
that.
I was like, she was about to get into it. I was like, don't hurt
Yes.
her. But like, I do agree with the fact like her facial expressions was just like, like it was a little too much. But it was just proving that she was fighting to stay and fight she did. Like poor Acacia, like it was. I feel like Acacia, she was just too slow with like the reveals, like and losing her shoes too. Like it was
Yeah.
your time. I'm
You
sorry.
could just
Oh,
tell that one girl was way more equipped for this lip sync based off of the knowledge of the song and like costume wise. So,
yeah, she probably just had a wet dream last night with Lydia.
oh,
So,
oh, whoa, not what I was going for.
my bad. Sorry, y'all. Different program.
Oh,
Oh,
So, sadly, Acacia sashays away. And honestly, she was really growing on me, so it sucks to see her go. But I'm sure something tells me you'll get your revenge very shortly. Next week, the girls have a design challenge, and you will catch us here on Shit Talker reviewing it and clocking that tea, honey, and clearing all these looks and chewing them up. Well, you'll catch some of us. Actually, I won't be there. Chris will be hosting, so if you guys are ready to see Chris host, come for that. And after every week, we've got no donations, so please donate.
we're really holding space in our piggy bank
We're
for some
holding space in our
coin,
pockets.
and there's a lot of it.
girl,
So,
period.
Yes.
Us begging,
So
like,
that being
damn.
said, yeah, it's desperate. That being said, this was Shit Talker this week, and we will catch you next week. So peace out, divas.
Bye.
bye.
Goodbye.
Ooh,
Goodbye.
nice.
Goodbye.